Hi everyone, today I, a noob who only has been drawing digitally for a few years, will be rating TikTok art tutorials. Only 3 though, since I'll be explaining my experience with them in depth, and no one will watch long videos. So, tutorial number 1 mainly it did go over how to shade clothes because I have trouble with that, but here's the sped up of the tutorial because I know no one has the attention span for that. But because I didn't want to go back and forth, I literally just screenshotted all the instructions and put it on my canvas because I would have had to go back and forth a lot more compared to the other tutorials, but that was because the tutorial was so in-depth, you know? And all the tutorials are over things I struggle with, so I was hitting 2 birds with 1 stone because, I'm making content out of this, and I'm practicing a hobby, a passion of mine, so I'm really happy about that. Though, I ended up hitting 3 birds, I think. Yeah, because this right here is an attack. Because in my Discord's an attack for our fight. Whoops. Because I asked a Discord server I'm in, like, oh my gosh, does anyone have any OCs on our fight with complex clothing? And then one person responded, though it ended up being an absolutely goated character. A vampire. Goth. Crossdresser. Oh my, what the freak? Shut the freak up. Oh my gosh. While I love the line art and the sketch process for the character, I did not enjoy the new shading aspects that tutorial brought. And not at all in a mean way, it just didn't really fit with me. Because the main gist was to use the lasso tool to make the defining shapes for the shading and like the shadows and highlights, if that makes sense. I don't know, but blend it with the blending tool and airbrush brush. I have never really used lasso tool before this, and I mean when I have is more just to move something, not actually to draw, you know, even though there's a whole art style using the lasso tool. Never touched it, never tried it, and I enjoyed doing that. But the airbrush, not as much, because while the tutorial was well explained, I don't think it was what I was looking for. It just didn't really fit my art style, I think. So overall, I would give that 3.5 stars. Tutorial number 2 was also about cheating. Maybe I should have changed the title. Maybe I should change the title to rating shading tutorials, but that's not as interesting. So I don't know. And it had the same idea where use the lasso tool for highlights, but highlights only. Whereas the first tutorial it was use the lasso tool to make your highlights and shadows. This was only highlights because they decided using the multiply layer, I think about 2 times was enough. That would act as your shadows, and then yeah. So it was interesting because I've never used the multiply. Well, no, that's a lie. One other time I did, and I was very confused that one other time. So it was nice to like get more practice into using the multiply layers, and I did learn that like I felt like I'm more comfortable. I definitely see myself doing that in the future. But with how it came out, I enjoyed how it came out. But the issue is when I started this attack for art fight, I went into it being like, I'm not gonna make a background. I don't want to make a background. I'm burnt out. This is like my 28th attack. I'm so freaking done with this, bro. Get me out. Oh my gosh. And I mean in the tutorial, they're not really doing a complex background either, and it looks good. But for me, at least, detailed backgrounds, dramatic scenes, I feel like this would work better. And I mean, I had to use the airbrush for this tutorial as well. But I don't know, it wasn't as bad. I don't know why it wasn't as bad. So I really should experiment with the airbrush, but I low-key just don't want to. I don't know. I think maybe I just did better colors this time. Or like maybe because the highlights were all one big jumble. While I like how the tutorial came out, I think the only thing is there were a few parts where I just had to guess what to do, even though I went back and forth to the video, as you can see through the speed paint. I don't know, there was a few times I was really confused. I don't know if you can see that through the speed paint, but I was really confused sometimes. But still, love the end product, so I think I would give this tutorial 3 stars. Oh, and I forgot to mention, but I'm going through the rating system for the tutorials is 1 to 5 stars. So I think that's still really good. 3 stars are really good. If you liked how this came out, or if you liked how the tutorial looked, you can always check it out. Here's the tutorial fully. Tutorial number 3, the speed paint I'm showing is a super old one, but it's because I use this, like I still use the method from that tutorial to this day. Sorry, I was stuttering. And because like I tried it a while ago, I loved it. I loved it so freaking much. I could glaze about I could glaze about this way longer. But I don't think you came to watch this video to hear me glazing. And it's the top result when you search up how to shade on TikTok for a reason. Like this video, like I'm gonna show the full speed paint. Like I'm gonna show the full tutorial, no speeding up, none of that. So you can soak it in and appreciate like how helpful it is. I don't know. And like in the speed paint, I already had it mastered. Like I already knew how to do it, so you don't see me going back and forth. You don't see the instructions anywhere. So maybe that's slightly biased. Also, the very first time I did try this, I did go back and forth a bunch, and it came out like this. I'm gonna show it right there. And I mean, honestly, the tutorial calls it how to underpaint digitally. I don't really, like to me this is considered shading, but whatever, it is necessary. Like if you need to underpaint to get this product, or like if this fits your style, which I think it really fit mine, I highly recommend it. Great tutorial. I use it all the freaking time. Overall, 5 stars. My only tip or like piece of advice that I stole from a friend is if you don't like it, adjust it in the hue saturation light filter. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I did that in the speed paint, as you can see. Like there's sometimes where I guess like, oh, this color would go really good, and then I do it and I think it looks absolute buns. So I have to go back and like mess around with it for a bit, make it way more saturated sometimes, because like I like that look personally. Not everyone else does. You can mute it if you want. I don't know. A lot of people have that art style where they like do a lot of brown, yellow undertones. You can do that. You can change it. I feel like that would be really helpful. But I don't know. I'm gonna stop glazing. And that was my ratings. Thank you so much for staying until now. But here are the final results to these 3 tags to show how much they helped. And